So
Oh,
yes, I'm on the homeward straight of being moved.
yeah, that's
I reckon it'll
great.
be another few weeks before because I've still got stuff in storage. But even
Mm,
that, I went to the storage container the other day because I was looking for something that I couldn't find,
mm.
which was exactly where I thought it was in the shed here, not in the storage container. But you know,
Yeah, I do.
um, but I was just looking around, and it's really encouraging that there's not a whole lot of my stuff left there. So that's good. There's a bit of, the kids' stuff.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so that just was really encouraging. It's like, oh, okay, if I needed to get this emptied in a day, I could.
You
Like,
could.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Mm,
would be finished and I could give the keys back. So,
good.
so yeah, that felt really good too. And there's only one more box of books to come
Hmm.
out, and that's the only thing that I've got to worry too much about storage for, because the rest of my stuff is just Christmas, which, I need to organise that with what
Yep.
we'll do
Mm,
over time. But yeah, so yeah, that was really
good.
encouraging. Yeah,
Yeah.
to think, oh, okay, I don't have to keep thinking, is there any more stuff in storage that I've got to find room
Yeah.
for inside? Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. No,
And
there's
books are
not.
hard for a lot of it. Like some people don't have any books,
Mm,
but books, yeah, have been a real big thing in our lives and my parents' lives, which is
mm,
why.
mm,
Yeah, we've thrown out a lot of books over the years.
mm,
It's been heartbreaking, but the reality is that when we took them to the cardboard recycling that was operating in this little town, there were thousands, just thousands.
mm,
And
mm,
I was able to download books that I wanted to read onto Kindle or something like
mm,
that. But we've still got so many. And some of them I
mm,
don't want to get rid of. I want them to
mm,
be one of the little collections I keep. I
mm,
certainly couldn't do the Marie Kondo 30 books. Like, that's not happening. I've got
mm,
over 30 books that are written by friends that are
mm, mm,
signed. So,
mm, mm,
yeah.
mm. No, well, I have got one bookshelf, so that's just behind me there now. So what would that be? Maybe is that I don't know how wide it is.
Mm.
And then it's got one, two, three, four, five shelves.
Yeah.
And I made the deal with myself that what doesn't fit on there, I don't keep.
Oh, wow.
And I sort of did that back in the house before I moved to South
Oh,
Australia. I'd
yeah.
already started that process, yeah. But even though I'd sort of said that, I still had other books like that were business related,
Mm.
that stuff that I was working on, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean, like to do with school and whatnot.
Yes.
Um, in other sections. And it's like this time I thought, well, okay, the next step is the bookshelf's got to include those.
Yes. Yeah. So
So
how do you?
yeah. Yeah, so that's been really good. And with my one more box, it'll all fit. I'll
Yeah.
get to a point where, and then because a lot of that, I could get rid of quite a bit of it now, actually, except that I've still got this idea in my head, because it's amazing that old books have got really good ideas in them that you
Yes.
can't find easily online. People just say, oh, you can get it all online. That's not true.
And well, what happens if your online goes down? Is yeah.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? If your online goes down, you haven't got it. But
Mm,
also, there's a lot of stuff that's just not available online. Like,
mm,
you just can't necessarily easily find the
yeah.
information that you want. And I mean, even a lot of our chat GPT and all of that can give us certain information and ideas.
Mm,
But yeah, anyway, so there's quite a few. Like when I was at Mum's place, she had these old Sesame Street books
yep.
that I was going through, having a bit of a look at, because
Mm,
I had to move it out of the room I was in so that there was room for me.
yep.
And I was going through and I just thought, man, some of the ideas in there for just how to set out a kid's activity book
Oh,
and things like that are a little bit different to what you see
now.
that is common now. And
Yeah,
yet, a lot of those ideas would still suit a modern audience so long
yeah.
as you use, I mean, obviously you can't copyright anything, but, you know, yeah, just some of the way it's structured and
The
whatnot.
format and the
Yeah.
layout, and what about the language as well, is it?
So, yes, well, and the way it's put together in just the way it'll have a story that'll flow into a puzzle that is a number, or and it's all part of those stories and that you
Yeah,
don't necessarily see
yeah,
widely. So
yeah,
anyway, so I just think some of those things now, would it be a good idea to keep the whole of the Sesame Street thing? No, I probably couldn't be bothered doing that, but I did grab one out of
yeah,
out of it because I just thought, oh, it's just um, yeah, can just trigger ideas.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Very
are
good.
different to what you find on YouTube or
Yeah,
Pinterest or
yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I've got a lot more books than I've got a huge bookshelf chockers behind the panel, but I've also got another one in the front lounge that's full of the good books, like, and
yeah,
some of those are collectible from both of us. So I've
yeah,
actually valued them and put them in plastic slips so that they're protected. So
yeah,
if I want to sell them later. But then there's
yeah,
another half a bookcase down there as well. So yeah, I've
yeah,
got some more headway to do there.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Sometimes I regret how many books I've got rid of because seriously, the books that I've got left would be lucky to be 10% of what I used to have.
yeah. Mm.
So we're just talking about thousands and thousands and
Yeah.
thousands of books and dollars
Yes.
over the
Exactly.
years.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
we have to let go of that sometimes, don't
we
we?
do. Yeah,
And we hold on to something because we've said, oh, but it costs this much. But if
I
you've already
know.
used it, you've got the value out of it. And
Exactly.
others don't value. They don't value books, and
No,
when we
it's not
clean,
worth that anymore.
yeah. And when I
Yeah,
know when we were cleaning out mum and dad's place and stuff like that, like I thought, oh, mum had a crystal wedding. So she had so much crystal. I grabbed a couple of vases. There was hundreds of pieces. It's just going for 50 cents in the op shops, even if it's the really good quality stuff.
yeah.
Young people don't want our shit,
No, no.
basically.
And the other thing that if we get rid of it and then we decide, oh, I wish I'd get that again, if you're a bit of an op shopper, you can go and find. If
Yeah,
not exactly the same, often you can get exactly the same, but even if
yeah,
it's not exactly the same, you can get something similar,
yeah.
like you say, for a few dollars or less. Yeah.
I take photos of things now, even decorative things. Like I really don't need all the decorative stuff and the
Mm,
crystal bowls. You don't use them. You keep them on display for what do they
mm,
say? Yeah, for special occasions or the dinner set
mm,
and
mm,
stuff. And it's like we don't do that anymore. When I was young, I thought I was going to have dinner parties all the time, like my parents did, and
mm.
it happened like 6 times. Cooking is so stressful for me because of the way mum was that a dinner party is a nightmare in real terms, but I thought
Yep.
I was copying what they did, thinking that's what you do.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely. Well, just talking about that, because I had this lovely plate that someone had given me, and it was just, how you get those little plates that you put either your little sandwiches on or your
Mm.
um, slices or something for a dinner party or,
Yes.
something. And I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is actually quite lovely. I'm going to use it because I needed a spoon rest.
Oh,
So I've been
perfect.
using it every day as a
Yep.
spoon rest when I cook.
Yeah.
And so I thought I need to rethink some of this stuff that does have nice memories and I
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't have to wait for, like you say, that party that
Mm.
some of those things, like, oh, there would be a few gatherings every now and then
Yeah.
that you bring it out for, but I thought I actually don't have to wait for that. And I don't have to
Mm.
store it for that on the odd chance that it will occur. I can use it every day. And if it gets
Mm.
broken, here's another lesson I learned years ago. Um, I'd had these nice, you know how like when I was 21, the teacup and sort the yeah, the
Yeah.
teacup, saucer, and side plate. You know, they
Yep.
were a big thing,
Cake
like the
plate.
nice brand ones.
Yep.
So I'd had quite a few of those. And I remember one of my shifts, because I've moved a lot, one
Mm.
of the shifts, one of them smashed.
Yep.
And I realised when I got there, the kids were still quite young. It was at that point that I actually started letting them use it because I thought, oh my God, if it's going to get smashed, I'd rather it got smashed because we used it and loved it than because I moved house.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like it's still like the end result was I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And it had just been, tucked away,
Yep.
waiting
Yeah.
for a special occasion that it
Yeah.
never happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So, yeah. And so I'd started doing it with things like that, like teacups and things, but I
yep.
hadn't taken that to the next level of like you say, the China bowls or this nice little
Yeah.
plate.
Yep.
And I just thought it was perfect size. I'll just use it for a spoon roast.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
dear. Well, I still had, I don't know that I have now, wedding gifts from nearly 50
Mm,
years ago.
mm,
Like, why? Yeah,
mm,
there's no emotional purchase there at all. So,
mm,
yeah. And
mm.
we were doing garage sales, but what I found with garage sales, and I don't know if you found this too, is that people want to spend 50 cents
Yes.
cheaper than op shop. And a lot of our stuff is, to me, worth more than that. And
Yep.
the amount of effort to set it all out and everything else and wait. And the best I ever did was $280 on a whole weekend, but that was 3 or 4 days' work because you had to
Mm,
pack it up and I had to take it somewhere else because we don't
mm,
have garage sales right where we are. And I just went, I just need to give this stuff away once again, give
mm.
it to someone or pass